Before the war, young women in Korea, China, and Southeast Asia lived vibrant, ordinary lives. They worked in fields, tended to families, and celebrated traditions in tight-knit communities. Villages bustled with market days, children played freely, and elders shared stories under the warm sun. These women dreamed of futures filled with love, family, and purpose. Yet the distant hum of warplanes foreshadowed the devastation to come, a stark contrast to the serenity they once knew. The Japanese military's invasion shattered countless lives. Soldiers stormed villages, dragging women from their homes with brutal force. Families pleaded in vain as their daughters were taken under the glow of burning buildings. Lantern light flickered on terrified faces, capturing moments of unimaginable fear. Many were forced into trucks, their fates sealed as the vehicles disappeared into the night. This systematic abduction marked the beginning of a nightmare for over 200,000 women. Crammed into suffocating trains, ships, or trucks, the abducted women endured days without food or water. Some wept silently, others stared blankly, already broken by the horrors they'd witnessed. The stench of sweat and despair filled the air as they were transported like cargo. Many didn't know their destination, only that escape was impossible. This journey stripped them of their identities, reducing them to numbers in Japan's military brothelsdom. The so-called comfort stations were prisons of unimaginable cruelty. Women were locked in tiny rooms with numbered doors, forced to service dozens of soldiers daily. The walls echoed with screams and sobs, the air thick with despair. Soldiers queued outside, indifferent to the suffering within. Many women succumbed to disease, starvation, or suicide. Those who survived endured physical and psychological wounds that never fully healed. Despite unimaginable oppression, acts of defiance flickered in the darkness. Women risked brutal punishment to whisper words of solidarity or hide scraps of food. Some sabotaged supplies, others feigned illness to avoid exploitation. One survivor recalled secretly teaching others to count in Korean, a small act of cultural preservation. These tiny rebellions were lifelines of hope in a system designed to crush their humanity. Rebellion meant severe retaliation. Women were beaten, starved, or locked in solitary confinement. Some endured forced injections of mercury to cure venereal diseases. Yet they survived, out of spite, love for those lost, or sheer will. One survivor later testified, "I lived because the dead begged me to tell their stories." These punishments left scars deeper than the visible wounds. Japan's surrender in 1945 didn't bring liberation for many comfort women. Soldiers burned incriminating records, leaving survivors stranded in foreign lands. Some walked bombed-out roads alone, too ashamed to return home. Others were killed to hide the truth. Those who made it back faced stigma, blamed for their own victimization. Their suffering was erased from official histories, compounding the injustice. Decades later, survivors bore invisible wounds, PTSD, infertility, and fractured families. Many couldn't marry or were ostracized. One woman described staring at her reflection, wondering if she was still human. Physical pain from untreated injuries persisted. Yet the greatest agony was silence, being forced to bury their trauma as Japan denied responsibility. Their courage in later speaking out would shake the world. In the 1990s, survivors like Kim Hak-sun shattered decades of silence. Their testimonies exposed Japan's atrocities to global outrage. Weekly protests demanded justice, symbolized by the Statue of Peace in Seoul. Lawsuits followed, though Japan offered only hollow apologies. These women, once voiceless, became symbols of resistance. As one survivor said, "We speak for those who died waiting for this day." The struggle continues. Japan still refuses full reparations, and right-wing groups deny the atrocities. Yet memorials worldwide honor these women's resilience. New generations learn their history through documentaries, books, and art. The survivors' fading voices urge us, remember, so this never happens again. Their legacy isn't just pain, it's the unbreakable spirit that turned victims into warriors for justice.